I can't begin to tell you how stressful my day has been. Oh, mate. I know we're talking about Cyberpunk today. I've got the live stream up. We're going to watch the whole thing, talk about everything that's new, and just have a good time with it. But I want to take a minute right now to appreciate my patience as a human being. I woke up this morning, right? My babies needed food, sorted them out. All the bins needed taken out, took them out. Then our boiler broke. I have literally been on the phone for 6 hours today, sorting that shit out. And then, despite all of this, despite me still trying to do a live stream like I did at 5 o'clock this morning, I'm trying to do another one now. The internet goes, right? I'm trying to upload the Avengers live stream to YouTube. The internet goes. Everything that could possibly have gone wrong today has gone wrong, and my patience is gone. Feel better for getting that off my chest. Feel like it was there. It was eating me up inside. What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing today? I have a viewer. I don't know who you are, but hello. Oh, I am stressed, bro. But everything about this new Cyberpunk announcement is meant to be amazing. I've seen, what was her name? Like Alanah, something like that, YouTuber. She got to play Cyberpunk early, and I just watched her talk about it. I haven't seen any footage. I don't really know much about what this is. But by the sounds of it, man, it's living up to the hype. It's living up to the expectation. And I don't pre-order games, like, ever, out of a moral obligation. I'm probably still not going to do it with this, but I'm tempted. That's how much I like this game. So far we've had Marvel's Avengers today, which, well, that was yesterday, but I missed it. We've had that, which is going to be an awesome game coming out soon. Cyberpunk, like, I'm just losing money here, man. All these fucking good games coming out. Well, I didn't buy Last of Us 2, though. That's, from what I've seen, and I'm like 13 episodes into the Brad's gameplay. Yeah, that was a good decision not to buy that. Oh shit. All right. Okay, so let me show you guys what we're working with today. What is that? Yeah. Okay. So this is the Twitch live stream that I missed earlier on because I have kids and obligations. And for anybody who missed the stream, this is kind of what this is. We're gonna go through, watch it. My lighting is fucking terrible in here. I couldn't be bothered to set up the lights. I'm sorry, that's my fault. But we're going to go through. We're going to review the whole live stream. And then I'm going to be working on a breakdown video, which it probably won't be up until like Saturday or Sunday now. Just because I've got 101 other fucking jobs to do, fix the boiler, call the companies, whatever. But we're going to get into it. My internet's being completely fucking awful, so if the stream cuts out halfway for whatever reason, just stick around, it'll be back up, refresh a page, and that's about all you need to know. Oh. Alright, and that's all the chit chat done. Should we just jump into it? I can't hear anything, and neither can you. Night City Wire live stream presentation. So why is that? Is that literally an hour worth of countdowns? Hello, computer, work with me, please. I love the little animations. That's quite sick. So most of that is just them talking. Don't know how I feel about that. All right. Cool. We'll go from here. Like I say, any audio you want changed around, let me know. That's really yellow. Looking like I got a fucking spray tan. That's fine. Let's see what this is about. I'm so excited for this game, man. Okay. Kicking off with the music already, man. The soundtrack to this game looks amazing.
The very first episode of of Night City Wire, a brand new series from us at CD Projekt Red, where we'll be talking about all things Cyberpunk 2077. For today's episode, we'll be starting with a brand new trailer.
I like her makeup.
One of our developers will be joining us to help unpack everything you're
I
going
also
to
want
see.
that hoodie in the
We'll have
background.
some news,
Oh,
an
no.
announcement about a secret collaboration. We'll be taking a look at some brain dance gameplay and welcoming back our developers just to have a chat about everything you're going to see.
Cool.
But there is one more thing.
Yep.
Media all over the world have been getting hands-on with Cyberpunk 2077, and when this episode finishes, you'll be able to go and check out exactly what they thought. So, let's get started. It is time to take a look at our brand new trailer, and after that, our lead quest designer Pavel Sasko will be joining us, because I've got a feeling you're going to have a few questions after watching this. So, let's take a look.
All right, here we go.
The city of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
City like any other, just bigger.
Oh man, it looks so alive.
Any other city. Legends are born here.
The major leagues. We're only here because Dex
Hello.
is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet. But if you got the cojones and you know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
There's a lot of focus on the cars.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies as a motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex?
All right, that looks sick, bro. That desert looks amazing.
How about we go over the plan?
The fuck haircut is that?
This prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Jobs to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to a corp.
Arasaka.
We're robbing some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
Eat lead, assholes!
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof. Get your ass moving now!
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't stop digging Night City.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high! Time to bail!
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
Yo, that looks so good, man. You know what I love? They're not like focusing too much on the dumb shit like particle effects and whatever.
And
Just gameplay.
Who are you?
It's Keanu.
Fuck.
Oh man, that looks
So the
awesome,
trailer
bro.
contains footage from the game's prologue only, but there was an
Okay.
awful lot in it. So, Pavel, why don't you try and help us unpack everything that we just saw?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I can try. So, what you have just seen is only the prologue of the game. So that awesome stuff is only happening in the first few quests. What the trailer shows you is really our stage, the Night City. You know, this gigantic city built of 6 completely unique districts, surrounded by the 7th one that we call the Badlands. As a player,
Oh man,
you are
that looks so
meeting
good.
Jackie. Jackie's your friend. Now, they together are trying to reach out for something that is very precious. They're trying to reach out for this chip of immortality, this gateway to eternal life. Jackie introduces you to Fixer Dexter Deshawn. He's a very important person in a social ladder of Cyberpunk. He is able to provide the player with various jobs and contracts to be able to gather money, to be able to modify their bodies, push themselves to the limits, to put their hands on the chip. But as you can expect, not everything goes as planned, and but to see it, you have to play the game.
Literally,
There are an awful lot
the
of
only
really
thing
cool
that I'm
things.
unsure of in this game so far is the driving. Like, it feels really stiff just from what I've seen of it. So I feel like that's going to be their main focus, the main thing that they have to work on. But like, just how alive the cities are, man, and how good the Badlands, how good they look. I'm so hyped.
In this trailer, and there's a few that I would just love to talk about a little bit more for the people at home. So let's start with talking about a gang called the Mox. Now, we see a few flashes of them in this trailer. I personally think they're really cool and one of my favorites, but can you give us a little bit more information about them?
Oh yes, so the Mox is one of the gangs that player is going to interact with throughout the game. the Mogs is the gang that has been formed in 2076 after death of Elizabeth Borden. She was called Lizzie. Now, she was an owner of a brothel and former sex worker, and she was protecting working guys and girls from harassment, from abuse, and the gang is really continuing her mission. And as a player, you are going to interact with that gang, meet multiple
I'm getting some
different
serious like GTA
and
vibes in a
have your own
nightclub.
relationship with them and understand what they are all about.
So earlier on, you did mention a 7th district, a place called the Badlands. Now, we saw a few shots of this
Show
in the
me
trailer,
more.
but I'd love for you to
I
give
wanna
us a
see
bit
more of this
detail
place, bro.
about the district outside of the city walls.
Okay, so the Badlands is this like dead, dried out space going around the whole Night City. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your car. or
Dude, look at
motorcycle.
that.
This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in a different families and they are traveling across that space in convoys made out of the cars and motorcycles. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content that has been prepared specifically for you to get that awesome feel of the Badlands as an area.
In the trailer, we also saw like.
I hope there's a good
completely
selection of
metal
cars.
creature. Now, he didn't look like he was from the Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So please tell the people at home, who is this giant metal monster?
Okay, so that big dude, that was Adam Smasher. He has been introduced in pen and paper in Cyberpunk 2020
He's a
by
big boy.
our senpai Mike Pondsmith. Adam Smasher is a fully converted cyborg. He was always a loyalist of Arasaka. And time has changed, and in 2077 he had to find his own space in Night City. But to find out, you'll have to play the game.
In this trailer, we do see
He looks like
some
a
flashes
beast.
of a Ripper doc called Victor Vector. I think
I wonder if you could make
people
your
watched our
character
previous
look something
gameplays,
like
they
that.
might remember him. But I'd really like for you to give the people at home some more information about what Ripper docs are and how they'll be interacting with them when they play Cyberpunk.
So Reaper dogs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs to the metal ones. They can basically update your body, enhance your body, change you into this walking war machine. And as a player, you are going to meet different kinds of Reaper dogs in the game, craft your own relationship with them. Some of them are like important characters for a story. Through that, you will invest eddies that you're gathering to turn your body into this tool that allows you to survive on the streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you so much for
Reminds me of the expression, what was it in Avengers? Something along the lines of no, it was in Batman. Something like live long enough to die a hero, or something like live to be a hero, or live long enough to die a villain, or something like that. It reminds me of that. So you spend all your time fighting all these bad guys, and then eventually you become one. That's going to be an interesting concept, seeing how far you have to push yourself in order to take down the guys who are on that same level.
for joining us. I know you'll be back later in the episode because you're going to be helping us to analyze the Braindance gameplay. But before that, we do have some news to share. Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches. And just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4, you'll also be able to play it on PlayStation 5 when the console launches. And that's not all. There will be a free upgrade for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
Tonight City.
See, as much as I appreciate that, I think it's a great gesture. Like, okay, so we buy it for the Xbox One and then you get the upgrade for free. That's fantastic. I love that. But the one thing that concerns me is like with GTA 5, you never really got the free upgrade, but when it came out on a different version, the version they released was upgraded, right? It was a higher quality. So, and then you started getting all the DLC with the GTA Online and everything else. So, okay, so we upgrade this version of Cyberpunk 2077, but does that mean at some point we're going to have to pay for some Series X special edition or something like that with like higher quality shit? By the sounds of it, that's a no, and I hope it stays that way. It's just a concern that sort of rolled through my head.
Before we reveal our first look at the Braindance gameplay and welcome back our developers for a chat, there is just one more thing we want to announce, something that we've been working on in secret for a while. We are very excited to announce our partnership with Studio Trigger and Netflix to bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the Cyberpunk universe, which we've been working on for some time now. Edgerunners is due to launch in 2022, but for some more information, let's go to the team in Tokyo.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Saya Elder. I am the Japan-based producer for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I am a fixer, to put it in the words of the Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of nerds, and wherever there are nerds, there's going to be anime fans. So it was always a dream for us to make anime. When we began this project,
is it a proper anime, or is it like one of those knockoff kind of things?
Of the game. Cyberpunk
It's made in like 15 FPS.
Story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story.
Yeah.
I do like to think that it's going to be a great
That building looks
gateway
sick.
for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole. Right now we're in Nakano, which is one of the biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the dream team that will be bringing you this anime.
こんにちは。トリガーの代表取締役の大塚です。
監督の今石です。
キャラクターデザインを担当する吉成です。
ゲームのサイバーパンクのファンの方、今回初めて触れる方両方に
I like the fact that it's actually coming to Netflix as well, rather than actually pushing it on their own platform or trying to sell it. It's a nice touch.
過ぎなかった頃に生まれたジャンル、そういうジャンルのものをまた、時代が何周もして作れるというのが非常に楽しみです。
トリガーも10年ということで、監督に今石、キャラクターデザインに吉成というトリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品にしていきたいと思います。お楽しみに。
I'm excited for that. That looks really cool, man. 2022
now
though.
It's time to show you some gameplay of Braindance.
That's a long wait.
This is a feature that you'll experience when you play Cyberpunk 2077. Braindance is essentially a recording of somebody else's experience. It allows you to relive their sense of sight, smell, touch, and even hearing, all thanks to a special device. After the gameplay, I will be welcoming back Pavel Sasko, and will also be joined by Patrick Mills, our senior quest designer and all-round lore master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Braindance when you play Cyberpunk 2077. So, let's take a look.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
I like the mask, man. That looks cool.
Everything on full blast.
Look at the HUD. It's different between every scene that they're showing. That's got to be like an upgradable thing, right?
Okay, on you go.
So like every single HUD that you buy, every time you upgrade, you get different displays. Maybe they all show different information. Give you an incentive to upgrade.
Everybody, on the ground. Want to see you kissing the flooring. Money, now, or I will fucking drop you. I swear to God. Well, yeah, hey, now, before I blow your fucking head off.
Ah! Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
That was too much. Could feel the guy's pain, his stress, his hope. Hope wrapped up in something else.
That's going to be really cool to use in missions.
Probably took a booster just before. You'll be fine.
I think that's going to be a big part of the story. It's got to be.
Let's switch over to editing.
There's so many possibilities for something like that. I like her haircut as well. The fashion and everything in this game is amazing, bro.
The link to the BD rollers sensory array, you'll be able to look around freely. Whole scene's yours. Full cam control in analysis mode, so move around, zoom in and out, whatever else you come up with. Think of it as your own little sandbox.
That's cool.
So analysis mode,
So you would actually be able to analyze. You'd be able to analyze entire areas. So you could watch, say you want to rob a bank or something like that, you could actually go through, analyze the entire thing, where are the cameras, where are the guards at, where are they posted, and then that would kind of give you the information for whatever mission that you're going up against. That is a really cool concept. I've heard that there are things like this in other games, but I personally have never sort of experienced that before, so that's cool. That's going to be a really fun mechanic to play around with. How do you get the memories and the information though? Like, do you have to go and get them from somebody who, say, works in that bank vault, or are they just available for purchase? Interesting.
You use the editor console to unpause. Try it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
Dream as hell, right? Well, that's not all. You can speed things up or rewind, whatever you like. Give it a try. Rewind, roll it back to the top.
Can I?
All good, neat. Now try fast forwarding a bit.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't be creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out.
Okay. You can also reset the recording. That'll take you right back to the beginning. Try it. Now for some fun. This here's why you came in the first place. In analysis mode, you get to view and even scan details of the environment.
I don't feel like they're showing all that much.
Focus on the heat. The gun this gonk gets from his...
They don't really need to give you a full tutorial on how it works. Just show us the full demonstration of a mission.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd.
I sound very pessimistic about it, but I think it's because I came from the Marvel trailer. And there was a lot to take in all at once, whereas this is very slow. It works you into it.
Excellent. Let's move on. Now heads up. In analysis mode, you can ferret out background noise and conversations if the roller got close enough. This tech records everything, every little detail, even the sights and sounds the roller was never aware of. To see the sources of the recorded sensory signals, switch to the audio layer in the editor. Go ahead and try that now. Okay, good. Now you should see several sound signatures in the store. Choose one and hone in on it.
Pack of 6, case of brosif, and a couple of zappers.
Okay. We have a deal today on 2 flavors. Cuddy and surf and turf. Everybody!
So, any thoughts?
Unbelievable. Seriously. Like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah, it's how BD recording implants work. They pick up everything, all the elements in the background. Then an editor tweaks them, makes them pop. Keep playing with the sound, explore it a bit. We'll move on when you get bored.
That's cool, man.
Wanna see you kissing the flooring? Money! Net!
Sometimes you can analyze extra layers in the raw, stuff the roller's cyberware picked up.
Like what?
Ev's got Kuroshi optics that grab infrared, meaning you should be able to grab heat signatures from her recording.
Huh. Hella nice.
Scanning works on peeps, too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her.
Alright, give me 2 minutes, guys. Yellow. Girlfriend has gone though. She wanted me. For the once. I feel loved. Okay, where were we? Yep, cool.
Alright, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, now! Fucking head off!
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming. But you will. Here it comes. My favorite part of the game. See the blinking thing over the entrance? Surveillance cam. Must have caught our shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk. Roll back to where the screen's in the kid's field of vision, then scan it. Chumba shot him. Probably planned to all along. Must have got a nice slice of cred on the black market for a BD like this. BD freaks are ready to pay a preem for a real flatline. Anyway, if you've seen enough, you can exit.
I think it's a cool mechanic. I just don't see anything like crazy about it. I see how it could be used in missions, but
Too bad most of the BDs we do here are only
meh, it's a gimmick.
So braindance is a pretty big part of the Cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's two sides I'd really like you guys to help me explore. First is the lore, so how this actually fits into the universe, and then there's the gameplay side, so how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of braindance?
I would love to. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them. It was originally used for things like therapy and prisoner rehabilitation, but by 2077, it's become this global media industry, including things like movies, mass entertainment, things like that.
So it's pretty much vlogging. Recording your memories of everything that's happened and being able to share them to other people. Welcome to Twitch. Welcome to YouTube.
Video games, some interactive things, and of course, adult fare as well. Now, in our game, we deal a lot with black brain dances.
A lot easier than saving your girlfriend's sexy Snapchats.
But the one that you saw in the trailer just there was a flatliner. Now, that's where the person recording it actually...
What is happening? Oh, it's actually a problem with the stream. It's not my PC. I'm clear.
The thrill, but a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the braindance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this braindance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the braindance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of given actor. Now, as a player, you can slide on the timeline.
So this would be really good if you're doing full like detective work in the game.
And that clues are actually
you can see how useful this could be.
So, as a player, you
for
will
missions.
run different investigations that will lead you to different mysteries, and you will uncover them actually using that braindance as a mechanics in the game.
So, as Pavel was saying, we use braindance as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use braindance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents of Night City. And we can explore things like childhood trauma, religion, various philosophical ideas in a way that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
So we've tried to talk about...
So it'd be a good way to get some information on a guy as well.
Really exciting, but, you know...
And try and get some kind of leverage in a mission.
What is it about Cyberpunk that you guys are really excited for? Patrick, why don't you start?
So one of the things that I'm most excited about in this game is the characters and the way they interact with the world. We've got this really interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020 source material and all of these events and all of those things, but those don't mean anything unless they connect with characters. And so when we come up with a character, we start with their function. What is this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and we figure out what was their childhood like? What was their upbringing like? What kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh reality, and did they overcome them? And how did they overcome them, or did they not overcome them, and why? And you can see all of those things in their environment, in their dialogues, in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now, you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're going to see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game, because it helps inform us as to who these characters are.
Okay.
And for me, I would not be myself if I would not.
So it's not so much a gimmick in terms of, okay, so you're going to be able to use it in the missions and that's pretty much it. Like, it's going to be a recurring thing whenever you want to try and get to know some of the characters. But if some of the characters found out you use this to understand more about their story, that kind of becomes, are you invading their privacy, their stories? That could affect relationships that way. So there are a lot of variables as to how it could work. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept, but like, I don't know, I was expecting more action, more details in the story, personally. But it seems like we're getting a lot of prologue stuff. Maybe they don't want to spoil the whole thing. So I understand that. Feels very slow though for me at the moment.
Say that I'm the most excited about our quests. Like with our Witcher 3 team, with Patrick and like everybody that
I've never played a Witcher game.
With us since the Witcher
FYI.
3 time, we really have grown so much. We have learned so much, and we have used all that experience to put them into the quest that we have made.
That scene looked
And
really
you will
sick. Rewind that sec.
in sort of how they operate in the world, and we're going to see.
Oh, I fucking lost it now, haven't I? That scene, yeah, this bit coming up here where they're shooting out a truck. This is very Far Cry-esque, this bit. But this scene with the gun shooting out of a truck,
we have used all that experience
that looks
to put
really
them
good.
into the quest that we have made. And you will not find really a filler in this game. Like everything has a meaning. Like we put so much effort into making sure that everything is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said, is talking about worlds, is talking about emotions, like touching the player in a really, like a real way. And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
There it is. He just so happened to have
You
it.
asked for it. So,
How convenient.
This is, my notebook. It says Salsa Quest Designer.
Beautiful.
The reason is because I dance salsa, and I'm a quest designer, so you know. So I started this notebook actually when we were really starting Cyberpunk. At the very beginning, I wrote like a first note, and it says pretty much something along the lines of that we were starting with a prototype. And then, you know, I kept on basically noting things that we've been working on for like next years. I remember once when our content actually approached me, and they said that they want to take a look on my notebook. I was like, what for actually? And they took some pictures, and they told me, yeah, well, you know, because we are looking for a reference material for a notes of a psychopath killer. Yeah, well, you may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
Some.
Pavel and Patrick, thank you so much for joining
My
me.
God.
I'm pretty
Go
happy
on, my
because
man.
I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for
Oh, Stinky Turnip. Yo, what's up, Captain? What are we talking? We're talking about Cyberpunk. So I missed the. Let me pause that real quick. I missed the live stream. So we're just kind of going over all of the information that was shown, all the new content that we haven't seen before. Ultimately, I'm pretty hyped for it. The whole trailer so far is pretty slow, to be honest. I mean, there's some cool information, some new mechanics that they've announced. But yeah, we're just chilling, man. Welcome to the stream, by the way.
One more thing we'd like to talk about. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned that media have been getting hands-on.
Sorry, I missed your message there.
Cyberpunk 2077.
It's brand new stream. Don't really get many people jumping in.
Right about now. And if you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry, we'll be uploading everything to our channels very
Please don't
soon.
tell me that's it.
And finally,
Hey,
on
no worries,
behalf
bro.
of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this, the very first episode of Night City Wire. But don't worry, we'll be back with episode 2 in just a few weeks. So, we shall see you soon.
And that's it. God damn. Oh no, there's more. Okay, so what is this? A bunch of people talking about it? Yeah. So, I mean, there's not much to talk about here. I mean, we've discussed everything that's been said. Hey, what's going on, man? We were watching the release trailer for Cyberpunk, but that just finished. Ultimately, there's a couple of new features, which is simply like we got a little trailer. We can rewatch that if you guys want to. And then there was some information on the, what was it called? Dream something or other, where you can kind of go back and look at memories and events that have happened in the past. Good for the investigative side of things. Kind of a slow stream, to be honest. Like, I'm still really interested in the game. Nothing's changed there. There's 2 more videos I want to watch. I want to rewatch the trailer because, you know, obvious reasons. I want to try and break it down. And then I want to watch the discussion video that I saw earlier on by Alanah Pearce, I think her name is, YouTuber, because she actually got to play the game. So we're going to go through that and just discuss a couple of topics. The city looks dead. That comment there, I disagree with that. So, what do you play? PC or PS4 or Xbox? You know what? I used to play a lot of PC. Then I had kids, and I realized that takes time. So mostly like Xbox, Nintendo Switch. I've been fucking banging out Breath of the Wild again recently. And yeah, man, that's it. Really, don't really get time to game all that much. I'm trying to get more into it now as the kids are getting older, and I've got more spare time. So I want to jump into the. I've been banging out wanks lately. Yeah, well, I don't blame you, mate. Honestly, you know what else are you gonna do during lockdown? You ain't got enough time to game because you're too busy wanking, mate. That's the problem. Where's that trailer? Right. Such a random fucking thing to say. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Johnny. I've heard Nonsense normally plays Nintendo. Yeah. Is that nonsense? Well, you know, that's fair enough, bro. I don't really know what to say there. Nintendo games are fucking sick, dude. That's all I have to say. Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, Final Fantasy X just got re-released for Nintendo Switch. And then, what was it, like 31 games? The poker and all the rest of it. Bro, Nintendo Switch is sick. Hey, if you say so, bro. It's nice to have you in the stream, bro. Nintendo aren't the best, but if you get the Switch, when you switch it out, you can play. Exactly, right? I mean, at the moment, I've got like 4 different consoles just sat here. You could ram it up your ass. More the Joy-Cons, to be honest, bro. Like, they're actually going to fit a little bit better. If you try jamming the whole thing up there, like, you're just going to fuck up the screen. You know what I mean? This is genuinely the weirdest Twitch chat I've ever heard. I want to go through and rewatch that trailer. Be good on vibrate. Yeah, man, get the DualShock controllers up there. Depends how baggy your ass is. Yeah. When you're as chunky as me, mate, there's plenty of room to go around. Alright, so I want to rewatch this trailer and break down a couple of things. Can you say my name repeatedly? I'm going to bang one out to that now. You know what? Tempting, bro. But I feel like that's something you're going to have to do by yourself.
City of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
City like any other. Just bigger.
Sorry to break your heart, man.
Not just any other city. Legends are born here.
The city does look so alive, man.
The major leagues. We're only here because Dex
there you go.
pulling the strings.
Bang one out to her.
That puts us in the same league.
I'll see if I can find another stream. Yeah, no worries, bro. Have a good one.
But if you got the cojones,
take one for the team.
You know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Unless you catch a bull.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies.
Can you play basketball? That's the biggest fucking question on my mind right now.
A pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex?
The Badlands looks so sick, man. It's like what GTA 6 is going to look like.
How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to a court.
Arasaka.
We're robbing some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
There's got to be like multiple paths that you can go down in terms of like you can be the good guy, the bad guy, you can take down all the organizations, you can sign up with them. The amount of possibilities in this game are going to be fucking insane, man.
Ching, baby.
This little driving scene here looks quite sick. Although the driving does look really sort of linear and rigid, I'm hopeful that there are going to be more mechanics like this where you can go drifting, mod up your cars, change things around. Like GTA 5 was a sick game in terms of driving, but the whatever shit you did to your car did not really affect it. You might get a speed boost, but the handling stayed the same. This feels like the kind of game where if you change your wheels out, you change the suspension, you change anything about it, you're going to feel it. And I hope that that's kind of implemented. Not in just one car, but every single one of them.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
He's lit, assholes!
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof.
Get your ass moving now!
What the fuck just happened in there?
That looks fucking vicious, man.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
See that little bit there with the grenade launcher coming out of his wrist? That's gonna be sick.
We're bulletproof.
What the fuck?
I wonder if you can modify like any part of your body to be able to become a weapon or hold one. So like, say for instance, you can get the grenade launchers in your wrist. You can get a couple of little fingers that pop out. You got guns going on. That'd be cool. The possibilities, man.
Happened in there?
That's endless.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high. Time to bail.
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
Dix, what the fuck?
Game risky, V.
And you, who are you?
Fuck.
I really hope Keanu has a big role in this, and it's not just like a marketing thing. I mean, obviously it is, but I want it to be more than that. Right, what's the girl's name? Alanah Pearce. So this is the video I was telling you guys about before, where she has played the game. I've already watched the whole damn thing, but I want to run through it again and just discuss a couple of things.
Hello everyone, I'm Alanah and welcome to my channel where right now I'm allowed to talk to you about the 4 hours that I got to play of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna make 2 videos about
I'm
this.
gonna
I'll make more
drop this in the chat, by the way.
Questions. This one is a Q&A.
So if you guys want to go and watch the video, feel free. I don't want to just watch it and I'll give her a shout out. Great content.
Maybe we won't get to all of them, but I'm gonna answer everything that I can. So this video will be a Q&A. The second video will be a talk through where I literally walk you guys through absolutely everything that I did in as much detail as possible because I was not allowed to record gameplay. Full disclosure before we even get started, I am super biased where this game is concerned, and I'm just owning that off the jump. I'm really excited. It is my most anticipated game of the year, and always was.
Intro.
Users loading screens had TV stations running actually interesting content or cool ads, and they were really short. But generally, considering how dense this game is, they are still NPCs who repeat character models and have samey animations or are not necessarily doing anything. In some cases. In other cases, there was a bar that I went to. They felt super alive. There's 2 NPCs that I walked past who were talking about the upcoming election. There was an NPC in a bathroom who was peeing, who has a voice line where he kind of berates you for staring at him for peeing. All that good stuff. Cody Gray said 2 questions. Are there any dogs to pat? None that I saw. Devastatingly. Second, what's your favorite
That's
weapon
it.
to use so far?
Cancel the pre-order.
My favorite weapon to use was a sniper
no
rifle
fucking
that
dogs.
could shoot
Damn
through
it.
walls and shoot through cover to an extent. They couldn't have too much cover in front of them. Like a closed door and a barrier would probably be too much. That thing was cool, and the way I got it was extra cool. It was by I guess a side quest that plays out a bit like Monster Hunter. There are these, I believe they're called cyber psychos. These certain
It's like little mini boss fights you can go and choose to actually go and do. That's a cool mechanic.
And you have the option to track them down and try to kill them. The one that I fought was not like a terribly difficult fight. It was on this really open bridge. But the quest designer I spoke to said they will have tiers. They will have ones that are much harder. But yeah, I by making the choice to go and fight him before continuing on my main quest, got his sniper rifle, which shot through walls. It was very cool. There were a lot of weapons that I wanted when I went to the weapons store in V's building that I didn't have enough street cred to get, though. I want to know what that katana feels like, man. Still thinking about it.
So is street cred another version of a currency? So you have to get a certain level to be able to unlock certain guns? I hope not, because that's going to be a pain in the ass. More like a reputation system.
I even played one. I don't know that many of us did. And when you go back and play The Witcher 3, Geralt does feel pretty heavy. I find myself like trying to turn around.
Like I said, never played Witcher.
Into a post. Cyberpunk is a dramatic.
Gonna have to play it at some point. Feel like it's one of those games that is compulsory.
But yeah, no clunkiness, no heaviness. I did get to drive 2 different vehicles and was happy with them. I felt like I didn't have that much to say, and I'm being told that they're still tweaking them. But for whatever reason, that was the thing.
Yeah, see, she agrees with the cars. The fact that they feel kind of clunky. I mean, that translates to video. It's a shame, but it's just... I don't think they're going to be able to nail everything.
So my review of the Cyberpunk driving would be like, it's not like it stood out to me like it's the best driving ever, but I was by no means offended by it. Cool with it. I do want to say one thing that like is a side note, because I can't imagine anyone's going to ask me about it. When it comes to movement controls, one of my favorite things about Cyberpunk is that you always have control. So if you exit I don't even know what to call it, dialogue interaction, and interaction. Generally, it's because you are choosing to stand up or get out of a car or walk away, and it is always actually a button press for you to choose if you want to sit and talk to someone and get in the seat, or if you want to stand up and walk away. This game, once in my 4-hour period of time, actually locked my screen onto something. Otherwise, I always had control over everything that I was looking at.
See, I think that's interesting because, like, in every single game that I've ever played, at least, cutscenes really help with the narrative. So, I mean, I get it, you can translate that, you can just have someone talking and pay attention to that, but with cutscenes, it's the cinematic aspect that really sort of locks you in, the same as, like, even Last of Us 2. Even though the gameplay just annoys the fuck out of me from what I've seen, it's the cinematics that really make it. So I feel like Cyberpunk is it's really pushing to be the best game it can be and not focus so much on the distractions. You just want to really engulf the player in the ability to do whatever hell you want to do and explore this beautiful fucking city. That's cool, but it kind of worries me that there's no cutscenes in a weird way.
When I was leaving a conversation or starting a conversation, there were no cutscenes. There is supposed to be a cutscene that gives you context for a time jump that was supposed to be in the chunk of gameplay that I played that was not ready yet, I guess. So it wasn't there. And the only time that I had my camera control taken away from me, which again, the designer that I spoke to said that this only happens maybe 4 or 5 times in the entire game, which I love, was because it wanted me to look at a drone. But otherwise there is loads of stuff you could probably miss because you have complete control over the camera. And I just love the amount of agency it gives you by doing that. You choose where you look, you choose when you stand up, when you sit down. It doesn't...
She's right though, you will miss a lot of shit.
To be able to start an encounter.
Like even in the majority of games, right? So there's a sniper on a roof. Normally the camera would direct you towards that so you know where they're all coming from. The fact that you have to kind of figure that shit out for yourself, it's interesting, but I feel like that's going to be part of the challenge.
I feel like I get a vibe from like certain pockets of the internet that they think that this is GTA in a cyberpunk world.
I kind of get that.
This is an RPG. There is tons of dialogue. Your character is very customizable. I spent way more time talking than I spent shooting. So yes, much more like the...
I feel like it's a mix of both, right? So you've got the driving, the shooting and everything else, that kind of aspect of it, but I feel like it's more like Red Dead than GTA though. Because Red Dead, there was a lot of fucking story. There was a lot of scenery, a lot of interacting with NPCs, cutscenes, developing understanding and relationships with other characters. That's what I feel like this game is. It's going to be a lot of that and not so much about the action, but when it's there, you're really going to fucking notice it.
Than like Grand Theft Auto. I know that's gonna sound like it's a stupid thing that I even have to say to a lot of you, but I do feel like a lot of people are expecting GTA, and this is not GTA. No cops are gonna come after you if you hit a pedestrian, frankly. Pandora said, Alanah, genital customization. Talk to me. I'm glad you asked. Yes, there is genital customization. I did get to go through the character creator. I tried to cut it short because I knew I could have...
I feel like I'm going to be stuck in a character creator for a very long time.
I didn't actually customize absolutely everything, but like you could customize stuff like teeth. I've never played a game where you customize teeth before. But yes, let's talk genitals. We're far enough through the video that YouTube shouldn't be too mad at me for saying these just medical terms. You can choose between a vagina, a circumcised penis, and an uncircumcised penis.
Oh, you've got to have the difference between circumcision. Absolutely, that is a win. A game without choosing your type of dick? Fucking bullshit.
And a slider directly below that for penis size. It
Great.
was grayed out.
Can I get that for real
I
life?
was not able to change a penis size or experiment with the options. The chest size
tiny dick
slider
syndrome,
was
bro.
similarly grayed out. Jaffleberry said, does Cyberpunk's gunplay feel like it has any weight? Yeah, I was satisfied with the gunplay, particularly liked the stealth, and I feel like I will do the thing where I approach most things with stealth in mind. You can get through a lot of encounters without killing anyone at all. I would suggest investing in the tech skill if you want to do that. But one of the quests that I played had like 7 different outcomes.
I wonder how important the stealth aspect of the game is going to be, because a lot of it seems like run and gun, shoot, smash everything up. That's fine. That's what that's what you're going to get. But with, like, again, I'm referring to games that I played recently, but The Last of Us 2, like, you have the option to go loud, but it's better if you go silent, and there's so many opportunities for that. So is this game going to put you in a position where you have the opportunity in the majority of missions to go silent, to go sniping, to go stabbing people in the neck? Or is it going to force you to get into that combat a lot more than you would personally want to?
And mine, I managed to get one of the gangs to end up on my side, even though our first interaction was really hostile.
It's very faction based, I feel like, as well. You want to build relationships with all the right teams.
Corporations in the game. And there was a room where
It's going to be awkward if you have to take down a team that you're friendly with.
Where everyone just took everyone else out. And the gang leader, who would have been my sort of mini boss fight in that level, because I befriended him, was the mini boss fight for Militech. So I could see the exact guy that I would have fought fighting someone else.
That's cool.
Which was really cool. But yes, I really liked the shotgun. I really liked the sound design of the shotgun. It almost felt like I was shooting just a really brutal taser, like an exceptionally brutal taser. I like the way weapons look when scoped. Their design is very cool, and getting headshots is satisfying. In terms of feel, I actually felt like the pistol I was using felt the best. But when the other two were a sniper rifle...
Is that the pistol we saw on the shooting out the back of the car? Was that like a little shotgun thing? Either way, that looks sick.
I don't even know if it was or if it just felt that way. Not bad. Not bad. I feel like I am more attached to the dialogue and the world and the themes than I am to the combat, and I expected that from the jump, but feels good. Phoenix King asks, what does your level with a weapon have on gameplay? If you have a low level with a type of weapon, example shotguns, can you simply not use the weapon, or can you use it but not effectively? So just can't move well with it or have difficulty aiming. Yeah, this is a really interesting one, actually. So for anyone who doesn't know, the more you use a weapon, the more you specialize in it. A lot of games do this. You keep using the shotgun, you will level up your ability with the shotgun, but there are also perks you can unlock that will give you like more damage with a particular type of weapon, etc. Yes, if you are new, you will be slower to aim. Aiming may not be as precise. You will literally feel like a rookie using that shotgun.
That's going to change with upgrades though, right? So you can upgrade the guns and you can upgrade your characters, so ultimately you just become a fucking tank.
I think I only did 2 because I was more interested in getting through the main story and also seeing as much of Night City as I could. I did 1 which was Jesse Cox, actually, YouTuber Jesse Cox. Basically, it was an icon telling me to go investigate, and the implication that was that there was some kind of penis enlargement surgery of some kind that went very wrong, and his dick was on fire, so he had me take...
Happens to the best of us.
I got him in a car, I took him there, I dropped him off, he called me later, he was very thankful, and he transferred me some money. It was very silly and over the top and fun. The other one being taking down the Cyber Psycho. Again, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I unfortunately didn't write that term down, which was Monster Hunter style. Mila also asked, are there any crafting systems? Yes, but they were not in the demo, so I can't speak to them at all, sadly. And 3, please tell us about the romance options and how they work too. Like, can I have a robot boyfriend? I only, or that I know of, only met one romanceable character who I was very into and would definitely romance. So I was extra nice to her, even though I knew obviously what I played of this demo was going to burn to the ground. Her name was Julie, and I actually can't speak to how the systems of romancing characters works.
Is that the chick with the green hair? Because they said they only showed stuff from the prologue and the trailers. So that's got to be her, right? Because she's only played up until like a really early point in the game. They only showed stuff, and it's got to be her. To be fair, kind of cute. To go on the, so I'm thinking myself at home now, bro.
You have a dick. They don't want it. There are some games where anyone will bang you if you try. They are just all romanceable options no matter what. But these
Witcher 3
fit their preference, which I think is cool. It feels to me like there's a lot of replayability. Like I said, one of the quests that I did had 7 different outcomes. Plus, there are the 3 backgrounds that you choose from. For the purposes of this demo, I chose Street Kid. I do have a few people asking me if I can kill anyone that I see in the game, like random NPCs or vital characters. I actually didn't try, because I was trying to get through as passively as possible, really.
I reckon that kind of thing, like being able to kill random NPCs and people that might be giving you stories, that's going to play out in a similar way as Skyrim. In the sense that, like, okay, so you can't go ahead and kill the NPCs straight away. You have to do their side quest or whatever first. But once you've done it, then, you know, happy shooting, kill the fucking guy. Anyone else, like, really hate Nazim from Skyrim, just while we're on the subject? Fucking arsehole.
Andrew Sapita said, what were your first impressions a few hours into the game? Like I said before, I was really impressed by that player agency. I think the world is so fucking detailed. Just kept walking around and looking at stuff. The people who designed the back rooms that nobody's ever going to go to and still meticulously placed items there. Damn. The lighting is beautiful. It is nice playing a game that is kind of tonally serious, but at the same time is very colorful.
I don't take Cyberpunk as tonally serious whatsoever. It feels very comedic.
About, so I'll bring it up here. Day-night cycle is 1 real-time hour is 8 in-game hours, and you do have the
Same as
option to skip
GTA, you know?
time because there are
Was
some
that 6?
places, like in a Shenmue, for example, that won't open until a certain time. So you can skip time. Not a new mechanic by any means, but it is the first game I've played where skipping time didn't give me any loading screens whatsoever.
That's sick.
You just immediately go from daytime, Night City to nighttime.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how they did that, knowing how complicated lighting is in video games. Very impressive.
What's interesting about that is the fact that she goes on later in a video saying that like obviously every NPC has their own roles. Shit in arse is good. Well, I prefer it coming out, to be honest, bro. She goes on to talk about how all the NPCs have a day structure and a night structure, so they all act differently based on what time you actually go ahead and sort of play the game. So being able to switch instantaneously from a night mode to a day mode, seeing how all the NPCs are going to react to that sudden switch, to see do they all just disperse, or does it just switch instantly?
With that one, there's also one thing that I feel like is just a cool touch. There will be less or more NPCs on the streets or cars driving on the streets depending on what time of day it is. There are less people driving around the city at 3 a.m. Grey Fox said, how does the shooting feel compared to games like Destiny or Titanfall? It's not a first-person shooter. It does not feel like Destiny or Titanfall. I want to say I feel like the combat
I feel like the shooting is probably
like
going to be more similar to like Far Cry than it is GTA or Call of Duty. Because it's like if you like go into GTA expecting a full racing experience compared to like a Forza 3, Forza 4, any Need for Speed game, you're going to be disappointed because those games specialize in that, right? So don't go into this game expecting the ultimate in shooting, the ultimate in combat, because I don't feel that's what this game is going for. Call of Duty specializes in that. They have entire teams, hundreds of people working on just the sounds that the guns make, how they look, how they behave. I feel like with games like Cyberpunk and Witcher 3, you have your big dev team all trying to make every single aspect of the game as good as possible rather than just focus on one specific thing.
David Rodriguez said, does the game run smoothly? Yes, it ran really smoothly, but I did have a handful of bugs. None of this is cause for concern. All extremely standard stuff for a preview build. Explains the delay. There's more polish to be had, obviously. Brandon Maximum said, does it feel like there's too much to do? Like, does it seem like the player might be bogged down by the different
The bug testing is going to go on for a while, especially a game of this size.
I had no doubt that there was a lot for me to do even in that open world, but no, it didn't feel like there was an overwhelming amount of stuff to do, like, you know, a Ubisoft open world game where they just give you too much crap. It didn't feel that way. However, I do actually think I will spend a lot of time when this game comes out thinking very, very, very hard about how I want to approach quests and in what order. There were a lot of optional tasks given to me in quests that actually often would change the outcome of that quest. Maybe in a positive way, maybe in a negative way. Something as simple as me sitting next to this mob boss and someone pulling him over with a gun, and they're having a conversation, I'm sitting in the back of the car as V, and I have the option to intervene and to say something on defense of said mob boss. I chose not to. I was told that would have a consequence. So I do think that this is a game where you're going to need to put a lot of thought into every choice that you make, even into the order that you make choices. But it isn't designed in a way that feels overwhelming. It just feels organic, and the word I keep wanting to use is player agency. I felt like I had a lot of control.
So with that, in terms of like who'd you mean, like not feeling overwhelmed, I feel like if you wanted to go and give yourself like 100 fucking side quests straight away just so you can get like geared up, get loads of money before you actually take on the main story, that's completely going to be an option here. So I haven't played the damn game, so I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like if you want to just chill, do some side quests, hunt some mini bosses, work your way up before you actually go in, that's going to be a thing.
also didn't feel like I was the center of the universe. I felt like other people existed and were important. Even just an aside, like having played so much of The Last of Us Part 2 recently, Jackie in combat, if I didn't do anything, would like tank his way through stuff. Like if I was like trying to figure out an alternate route or something, he's just in there like slapping dudes across the face. You can also shoot someone to the extent that it downs them, it doesn't kill them, and just leave them on the ground. Or finish them off if you want.
Let him
Just
suffer.
so much player agency. I felt like it was my game. And like I did have a lot of constant choices, but again, in a way that it was about agency, not about overwhelming choice or pointless choices either. TN guy said, do side characters repeat lines every minute, or do they have many different lines to say in and out of combat? You know what? I didn't hear anyone repeat a line a single time. If I took too long to reply, they would be like, hello? So they would sass me if I took
Keeping the
like,
immersion up.
slightly too long to
That's
reply.
good.
I didn't hear anything repeated.
Man, I wish I could have played this game early.
Fanatic, how is the UI?
You're lucky bitch.
I really like the UI, in that it is specific to what cybernetics you have implanted. So you can only see, and you would have seen this in gameplay probably.
Okay, so what I said earlier on, that was
You can only
right.
see how much ammo you have if you have
In
lets
that
you
all
see
the HUDs look completely different.
So you can turn stuff
So
off
yeah,
or turn stuff on,
as you
buy
upgrade, you can
stuff,
unlock different
upgrade.
things.
Very cool. Michael Noizu said, favorite new additions to the game that weren't seen in any revealed game trailers before. I don't believe we've seen brain dancing in any footage. Let me Google that and make sure. No, it sounds like people
So
know
this
that
was
brain dance is
released
in the
before
game,
the
but that we
trailer.
haven't
Well,
seen
I think
any
it was
footage.
shot before the trailer. That she
So,
released it like an hour
brain
after.
dance is basically a digital recording of a person's experience in the cyberpunk world. Someone who is then viewing that can basically
Kind of rambles on a bit. I've already gone over this. Don't want to bore you guys.
and like VR, and you play that in someone's life. It definitely has a lot of parallels to that. The Rubber Ducky said, other than Keanu, did you feel emotionally invested or connected to any of the supporting characters or even the antagonists? I ask because I'm curious how impactful the storytelling can feel.
This bit's really
in a small
important.
window of gameplay. I was super attached to Jackie off the bat. Two other characters I just thought was so cool and so interesting. Frankly, yeah, I think one of the initial complaints that I had when I saw some of Cyberpunk was that I didn't like the writing, and I felt like everyone was all like, hey man, get fucked, and it was just like a bit much. And I did note that on like a sheet for them 2 years ago.
So
it seems like
I'm gonna pretty much wrap this up because I think we've discussed pretty much everything that's new and everything that's out there right now. I'm pretty hyped for it. I don't feel like they've really revealed much more than we already knew. We had the brain dancing stuff, which is interesting, but I feel like we need to see that more in action than anything else, rather than just sitting there watching a tutorial about it. I want to actually see it in action. I want to see somebody do a whole mission and sort of use that as a big element in that. The gameplay itself looks great, for sure. I wish there was more to sort of talk about, but I mean, the trailer was pretty, like, we've already seen a lot of the stuff. Visually, it looks great. The city looks great. The driving looks decent. The shooting looked cool. I'm excited to see the next trailer. They said it was coming out in a couple of weeks, so I'll jump into it then. But, like, there's not a major amount of news. Yeah. Ultimately, I think that pretty much covers it. So, I'm sorry, there's not much more to break down, but that's just the way it is. I love your faces. Slur my words. I love your faces. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm gonna quit stream and go and edit another 10,000 fucking videos to be able to get them up over the weekend. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this little breakdown, then that's cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna leave a link to this video here in the description, just because it's one of the most thorough sort of breakdowns of early release gameplay that we've got so far. Great job, Alanah. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you for watching the stream, becoming a part of it. Thank you for all of the guys in chat today who've discussed sticking things up their arse, having a wank, and keeping shit inside of your asshole. I hope my fan base doesn't turn into something like this. 1 week of streaming and everything's gone to shit. Alright, take care guys. I will see you in the next one. Alright, peace.